The wait is over. After weeks of silence, rumors, and Cardi B flooding the internet with receipts, Kendrick Lamar has finally broken his silence and the entire rap world is on fire. For days, fans debated whether Kendrick was cornered, whether Cardi had already won, and whether Jay-Z's warning meant the end of Kendrick's untouchable reign. But now Kendrick has answered back, and not with an interview. Not with a tweet, but with bars so sharp that fans are already calling it the final nail in this feud. The moment his track dropped, timelines froze. Cardi's name trended instantly. Jay-Z's earlier words resurfaced. And hip-hop fans everywhere knew they were witnessing history. This isn't just a response, it's a cultural reset. The question now is, did Kendrick end Cardi's momentum for good? Or did he just spark the biggest war hip-hop has seen in decades? The drop heard around the world, midnight struck, and without warning, Kendrick Lamar's official accounts lit up. A simple black and white cover image. Title: Silence Ain't Free. No features, no promo. Just a 3-minute and 52-second track. Within seconds, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram were flooded. Fans who stayed awake for weeks waiting on Kendrick's response had their prayers answered. YouTube uploads of the track instantly racked up hundreds of thousands of views, with live reaction videos dropping in real time. And the opening lines: cold, sharp, unapologetic. They calling for receipts. I've been the proof since day one. Legends don't argue on live, they let the art get it done. The rap world froze. Kendrick wasn't just responding, he was dismissing Cardi's entire strategy with a single bar. Fans explode online. The hashtags #SilenceAINT-free, #KDOT response, and #this ends it all dominated within minutes. Some fan tweets that went viral: Kendrick just buried Cardi with one verse. Over, this is ether. Takeover and back-to-back rolled into one. Cardi can't clap back to this. It's game over. TikTok reaction creators screamed into their cameras, replaying bars over and over. One video with 3 million views showed a fan fainting on purpose when Kendrick rapped. You trend for a week. I build for a century. You sell chaos, I sell legacy. Cardi's silence, ironically. The loudest voice in hip-hop went completely silent. Cardi's socials, usually buzzing with lives, tweets, and IG stories, went dark in the hours following Kendrick's drop. For someone who thrived off feeding the narrative, the silence was deafening. Fans noticed. Memes flooded in. A picture of Cardi's Twitter with the caption, 404-page not found. Another of Cardi hiding under a bed with Kendrick holding a mic. Outside, her silence was being read in one of two ways. Either she was plotting a comeback, or Kendrick had struck harder than anyone expected. The media reaction within hours. Every major hip-hop outlet had posted their take. Complex, Kendrick Lamar responds with bars that could end the Cardi B saga. Hot new hip-hop. Kendrick strikes back. Cardi fans struggle to defend against the lyrics. Billboard, Kendrick's silence breaks. But Cardi's silence speaks louder. Even mainstream outlets like CNN and BBC ran segments highlighting how this wasn't just a rap beef anymore, was a cultural war about authenticity, artistry, and legacy.J-Z single quotes S words resurfaced. The internet dug back up Jay-Z's earlier warning. Every lie has some truth, but silence speaks too. Fans reinterpreted it now, saying Jay wasn't doubting Kendrick, he was daring him to respond. And Kendrick delivered. Memes showed Jay-Z smirking with captions like, I told y'all he'd respond. This angle flipped the narrative. Jay was no longer Cardi's unintentional co-signer. He was now seen as the mentor pushing Kendrick to strike. Breaking down the lyrics, fans began dissecting the track bar by bar. A few lines stood out immediately. You screenshot feelings. I'm writing scriptures. Gives. Interpreted as a direct attack on Cardi using social media receipts. Don't mention the throne if you shaking in the chair. Gives. Fans thought this was aimed at Cardi, claiming dominance without lyrical weight. Asterisk, a warning from Hav. A reminder from God, don't let the noise make you think I'm flawed. Asterisk. Gifts. Acknowledging Jay-Z while reclaiming control. Bar after bar. Kendrick dismantled not just Cardi's claims, but the entire approach of trying to fight him with screenshots and rumors. The industry responds. Celebrities and artists jumped in immediately. J. Cole tweeted, "Art over gossip. That's why he's the GOAT." Nicki Minaj liked a fan post calling Kendrick's diss surgical. Drake, ironically, posted a laughing emoji with no caption, fueling speculation he was enjoying watching Kendrick Cardi clash. Even Eminem reposted the track on his story with the caption, "Bars still matter." It was clear the industry was leaning heavily toward Kendrick after the track dropped. Cardi's fans pushed back still. The Barty gang wasn't going down without a fight. Cardi's most loyal supporters claimed Kendrick's bars were generic and all talk. No proof. One viral tweet said, "Okay, he can rap, but where the receipts at?" Cardi still got the files. Another argued, "This is cute, but if Cardi unlocks that folder, it's a wrap for him." It became clear while Kendrick may have shifted momentum, Cardi's threat of unreleased files still loomed large. The cliffhanger by sunrise. Kendrick's track had already been streamed millions of times. It was dominating playlists, reaction videos, and podcasts. The culture unanimously agreed. Kendrick's silence had been strategic, and his response was devastating. But the question remained, would Cardi actually unleash her truth folder now? Or had Kendrick's lyrical power forced her into checkmate? For now, the only sound louder than Kendrick's voice was the silence from Cardi B's camp. And that silence was driving fans crazy. Cardi breaks the silence after nearly 24 hours of silence. Cardi B finally broke. She went live on Instagram, thousands flooding in within seconds. Her face was calm but her tone sharp. "Y'all hyped that track like he said something new. Same old, I'm a legend, I'm a king type bars. Cute. But where's the proof? Where's the honesty? Where's the part he admits what I got on him? 'Cause I still got my folder and I'm not scared to drop it." The comment section went nuclear. Fans spammed fire emojis, laughing emojis, and the hashtags #truthfiles and #silence enough. For Cardi, it wasn't about matching Kendrick's lyrical pen. She doubled down on her promise of receipts. Her argument was clear. Bars are powerful, but screenshots don't lie. The internet divides. Cardi's lie sparked a cultural clash. Fans split into two extreme camps. Team Kendrick, praising his artistry and calling his track the death blow. Team Cardi, claiming Kendrick dodged the real issues and that Cardi's silence breaking was only the beginning. Memes flooded Twitter. One showed Kendrick with a crown saying, "I rap, therefore I win." Another showed Cardi with a filing cabinet labeled receipts, captioned "to be continued." The war wasn't over, it was escalating. Jay-Z speaks again in the middle of the chaos. Jay-Z spoke during a private brunch event. Of course, someone recorded it and the clip spread like wildfire. Jay said, "Hip-hop is about truth and skill, but skill without truth, that don't last. Truth without skill, that don't move people. You need both." Once again, his words cut both ways. Some said Jay was siding with Kendrick, praising his skill. Others argued he was supporting Cardi, reminding fans that truth matters more than rhymes. Blogs reposted the clip with headlines like, "Jay adds fuel to the fire. Is Jay-Z secretly Team Cardi?" Jay's philosophy splits the culture again. Kendrick's camp responds. Kendrick himself stayed quiet. But his producer, Soundwave, tweeted something that set the internet ablaze. "Don't confuse screenshots with scripture. #silence ain't free part." Two fans immediately speculated that Kendrick had a follow-up track ready. Some even claimed he was preparing a series of responses. Just like Drake's infamous back-to-back strategy, the suspense grew unbearable. Cardi hints at a date not to be outdone. Cardi tweeted just hours later, "Since y'all think I'm bluffing, let's make it official. Friday, 8 p.m., don't say I didn't warn you." The internet lost it. Was she about to drop music? Or the long-rumored truth files? Either way, the countdown had begun. The hashtags, #CARDIVs Kendrick, #Friday Drop, and #folder unlocked trended worldwide. Media turns it into a spectacle. Mainstream media outlets turned the feud into headline news. Rolling Stone dropped a feature calling it the first battle of receipts versus rhymes. Podcasts debated. What defines hip-hop truth or talent? ESPN. Commentators even joked about it during halftime shows. This wasn't just music. Anymore, it was pop culture dominating every corner of time. And every corner of conversation. Other artists' way. In the rap community couldn't resist chiming in. Meek Mill. Both sides going crazy. I just hope it stays music and not messy. Nicki Minaj liked Cardi's Friday announcement but didn't comment publicly. Eminem doubled down on his support for Kendrick, tweeting, "Pen game undefeated. Don't forget that." 50 Cent, of course, made it hilarious, posting a meme of Cardi and Kendrick in a boxing ring with Jay-Z as the referee. Every cosign or comment shifted the balance of power. Fans take sides harder than ever. Twitter Spaces, Reddit threads, and YouTube live streams exploded with debates. Some fans even set up watch parties to be live together when Cardi's drop hit Friday. Others prepared reaction videos in advance. The most popular debate: if Cardi drops files, does that end Kendrick's career? If Kendrick drops another track, can Cardi even respond musically? It wasn't just a beef, it had become an event. The calm before Fridays, the world waited for Cardi's Friday drop. Kendrick's camp remained eerily silent. No teasers. No leaks. Nothing. This silence only built suspense. Was Kendrick done after one track? Or was he planning something even bigger to line up with Cardi's release? By Thursday night, the anticipation was unbearable. Fans around the world had their alarms set. The cliffhanger, and then came Friday. As the clock ticked down to 8 p.m., Instagram Lives popped up everywhere. Reaction channels went live. Twitter trended worldwide with #CARDIVs Kendrick. The culture wasn't just waiting for music or files. They were waiting for history. Would Cardi deliver the knockout blow with her receipts? Or would Kendrick unleash another lyrical masterpiece and shut everything down? The world was about to find out Friday. The world watches. The clock struck 8 p.m. Friday night, and the internet held its breath. Cardi B had promised something, and millions were ready to see if she'd deliver. Hashtags like #folder unlocked, #CARDIVs Kendrick, and #truth over bars dominated worldwide trends. On Instagram Live, Cardi appeared again, this time not just to talk, but to show the truth files. Cardi began by saying, "I told y'all I wasn't bluffing. Y'all thought I was scared of lyrics? Nah, I live in reality. I deal in facts." Then, one by one, she pulled up what she called her truth files, a series of screenshots, text snippets, and behind-the-scenes stories. Some were minor industry gossip, but others, they hinted at private conversations, industry politics, and situations that painted Kendrick as less untouchable than his fans believed. The internet exploded. Some shouted, "Receipts don't lie." Others called it smoke and mirrors. Screenshots ain't stronger than bars. The divide deepened. Fan reactions in real time as Cardi scrolled through her folder. Chat sections went insane. Comments flew faster than she could read them. LMAOO, she got him. Shaking. This feels more like TMZ than hip-hop. Where's the music, though? Reaction YouTubers streamed live breakdowns within minutes, dissecting every screenshot. Twitter threads cataloged and analyzed each receipt, trying to determine what was real, exaggerated, or out of context. It wasn't just entertainment, it was digital warfare. Kendrick's name trends worldwide even without saying a word. Kendrick's name trended #1. The world demanded his reaction. Would he address the screenshots? Would he ignore them? Or would he double down with music again? Memes went viral. A photo of Kendrick meditating captioned, Unbothered king energy. A picture of Cardi with a magnifying glass. Detective B on the case. The culture laughed, debated, and clashed online. But the tension kept building. Celebrities weigh in again. Other artists jumped into the chaos. Ice Cube tweeted, "Screenshots don't write classics." Bars do. Doja Cat posted a cryptic message. The truth always comes out in layers, like onions. Fans weren't sure if she was trolling or hinting at something deeper. Fat Joe appeared on IG Live saying, "This is history, man. We ain't seen energy like this since Packin' Big." Everyone had an opinion, and every opinion pulled the story in a new direction. Cardi doubles down before ending her live. Cardi dropped one last bombshell. "If you think Bar's gone, save him. Let him drop again. I'm ready. My next move ain't screenshots. It's music." The crowd went wild. Fans realized this wasn't just receipt. Cardi was gearing up to step into Kendrick's lane directly. Twitter instantly launched #Cardi diss track into the top 5 trends. Media coverage explodes by Saturday morning. Major outlets turned Cardi's truth files into headline news. Cardi B brings screenshots to a rap battle. Fans divided. Complex, the first rap beef fought online in real time. Rolling Stone, hip-hop meets reality TV. Drama in Cardi versus Kendrick. TMZ, this wasn't just a feud anymore, it was history in motion. Blurring the lines between hip-hop, social media, and entertainment. The silence from Kendrick canned yet. Kendrick said nothing. Not a word. No tweet. No IG story. No leaked track. Nothing. His silence became the loudest part of the story. Fans speculated wildly. He's plotting something huge. He knows she cooked him. He's letting her burn herself out. For Kendrick, silence wasn't weakness. It was strategy. And it was working. The longer he stayed quiet, the more people anticipated his next move. The fans fueled the fire. Communities exploded with theories. Reddit threads stretched into thousands of comments, with users dissecting every receipt. Cardi shared. Twitter accounts dedicated solely to tracking the beef gained thousands of followers overnight. TikTok edits set Cardi screenshots to dramatic music, making them go viral. It wasn't just about Kendrick and Cardi anymore. It was a fan-driven spectacle, each side fighting to prove their favorite was winning. The industry stirs behind the scenes. Rumors spread that record labels were panicking. Cardi's team allegedly debated whether releasing the files had crossed a line, while Kendrick's camp reportedly prepared a rollout plan that could overshadow everything Cardi had just done. Industry insiders whispered that Kendrick wasn't just preparing a response track, he was working on something bigger, possibly even an entire project aimed at Cardi and anyone who questioned him. The stakes had grown beyond a feud. It was now about legacy, the setup for the next explosion. By Sunday, the world was waiting again. Cardi had unleashed her truth files, but the spotlight shifted back to Kendrick. Would he respond? Would he ignore it and let his fans defend him? Or would he unleash something that buried everything Cardi had shown? All eyes turned back to one man. The chessboard was set. The moves had been made. But the game wasn't over. The world was waiting for Kendrick's answer. The silence breaks Sunday night. The internet had nearly collapsed from waiting. Cardi's truth files dominated every corner of social media. But the real story was the silence on Kendrick's side. Then, just as fans began doubting he would answer, a surprise notification hit streaming platforms. A track titled "The Last Reply" appeared under Kendrick Lamar's name. No promo, no warning. Just a sudden drop. Within minutes, the track trended worldwide. YouTube reactions fired up. Spotify and Apple Music servers slowed from traffic. This wasn't just another it was a moment. The track Kendrick's pen was sharper than ever. His voice calm, surgical. Each line layered with venom and brilliance. He opened the track with, "They want screenshots. I write scriptures. Receipts fade, but the truth still pictures. But the truth still pictures. They play games online. I play chess with the culture. Y'all want gossip behind the voice. I'm the sculpture." The crowd went wild. Throughout the song, Kendrick flipped Cardi's accusations back on her, mocking the idea of fighting hip-hop battles with screenshots and gossip. He painted himself not just as a rapper, but as the guardian of the culture. Every verse felt like a hammer. Each punchline instantly meme-worthy. The reaction. Social media exploded instantly. Hashtag the last reply trended at #1 globally. Fans declared at the end of the beef. Twitter Spaces erupted, debating whether Cardi could ever top this. One fan tweeted, "Cardi brought a knife. Kendrick brought a nuke." Another said this wasn't just a diss. It was a cultural funeral. Reaction channels screamed, rewound lines, and declared Kendrick had restored order. Cardi's corner. Cardi went quiet for hours. She didn't post a thing, an unusual move for someone always so active online. This silence only fueled speculation. Some said she was regrouping, repairing her diss track. Others believed she'd realized Kendrick's bars were too lethal to counter. Her fans, however, doubled down. He still didn't deny the receipts. The divide remained. But even Cardi's strongest supporters admitted Kendrick's artistry had shaken the table. Jay-Z reacts, and then came Jay-Z during a private event the next day. He was asked about Kendrick's track. His response? Chilling. That was more than rap. That was order being restored. Everybody plays, but at some point the king has to remind you why he's the king. The crowd erupted. Hip-hop blogs ran the quote as headlines. Fans declared Jay-Z had just crowned Kendrick the undisputed winner. The Culture Speaks podcasts, media outlets, and influencers couldn't stop talking. Complex. Kendrick's response wasn't just lyrical, it was philosophical. Hot 97. This is what separates rappers from legends. Joe Budden podcast. Cardi picked the wrong fight. Screenshots can't compete with poetry. Even critics who favored Cardi admitted Kendrick's track felt historic. The meme storm as always. The internet made it hilarious. A meme of Cardi holding receipts set on fire with the caption, "Expired." A picture of Kendrick writing with a quill pen. Man wrote the Constitution of hip-hop. Fans edited the track into boxing highlight reels, declaring Kendrick the knockout champ. Other artists jump into. Rap community couldn't resist praising the track. J. Cole tweeted, "That's why he's who he is." Eminem wrote, "Masterclass. That's penmanship you can't teach." Nas posted, "That was culture. Respect." Every cosign cemented Kendrick's win further. Cardi's dilemmas. By Tuesday, pressure on Cardi was at an all-time high. Fans demanded her diss track. Others begged her to step back, warning that going toe-to-toe with Kendrick again could risk her credibility. Industry insiders claimed her label debated whether releasing a diss was wise. Cardi was known for energy, charisma, and hits, but battling Kendrick on his turf? That could backfire. Her silence dragged on, and the longer it lasted, the more fans believed Kendrick had ended the war. Legacy cemented by midweek think pieces poured in. Scholars, journalists, and culture critics began analyzing Kendrick's track as more than a diss, it was a statement about hip-hop itself. Some argued this was his way of reasserting his dominance, reminding the industry that lyricism still matters. Others said it marked a turning point. The day social media receipts lost to PENMANSHIP. Fans started calling it the blueprint moment of our generation. The verdict in the end. Fans declared the winner loud and clear. Kendrick didn't just respond. He reset the conversation. He proved that bars delivered with precision and vision would always outweigh gossip, screenshots, and internet noise. Cardi had brought heat, but Kendrick brought history. As one fan tweeted, "This wasn't just a response. This was the end of the argument, period." And there you have it, the moment the entire culture was waiting for. Cardi B came swinging with her truth files. But Kendrick Lamar answered with the last reply, a track that fans are already calling historic. Some say it's the end of the beef. Others believe Cardi's silence means she's preparing for one last counter. Either way, one thing is certain. This battle just reminded everyone why hip-hop still matters. But what do you think? Did Kendrick really end it all with one track? Or do you believe Cardi still has a shot left to fire? Drop your thoughts in the comments aisle. Be reading every single one, and don't forget, if you've been enjoying this breakdown, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next twist in this saga. Because if history has taught us anything, it's that in hip-hop, the story is never truly over. Follow us on Twitter at Hip Hop Chronicles and IG at Real Rap Talk for live updates as this beef unfolds. Stay locked in, because the next move, it could change everything. Everything.